All right, so we're talking about scientific drawings. So right on this piece of paper it says list at least 5 things that a scientific drawing must have. Okay? What do you think something that a scientific drawing must have would be? Gavin?
Info.
What?
Information.
Okay, information about what?
About science projects.
Okay, so maybe information about what the subject is doing. If I'm writing, you're writing. You're very close to getting a mark right now. Let me tell you a little story. When I was going to school at USF, I took a class that was all about teaching science. So our teacher taught us how the best way to teach science would be. And because we were taking this class, she wanted us to do a science experiment. And our science experiment was to grow mealworms.
Ew.
So if you, I'll wait. If you have ever had a reptile before, you might know that sometimes you have to feed that reptile worms. Well, these worms, we got a little bucket of them, and they were in some sand, and actually I think it was cornmeal, and they were living inside those things. And our teacher did not tell us what we were looking for. She just said, your job is to observe the mealworms. And so we had them over the course of 3 months. We had the mealworms, so we took them home. And what we had to do was keep a journal and make some observational pictures about what the mealworms were doing, what they looked like, and eventually we found out that those mealworms cocooned themselves and then they bloomed into a beetle.
Yeah. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Beetle? Oh, that's how beetles. I thought that was.
I'll wait. I'm waiting. So the cool thing about this was we had our notes from the whole course of the time that we had these beetles, and we were able to draw these really, really specific pictures and keep our notes about what the subject, the mealworm, was doing. We were able to observe its behaviors, and some of us didn't know that it was going to turn into a beetle. So that was something really cool for us to watch. So it's always really important to put information about your subject. Okay, what else do you think a drawing should have? Haley?
Labels.
Labels. Very good. So you should be labeling what your drawing is. You might be able to tell what your drawing is, but if somebody else picked up your drawing, they might not be able to tell. Go. What else do you think a scientific drawing should have? Quinn?
It should have steps.
Not steps, because a drawing is just looking at observations.
Okay.
So we're not testing anything. Levi?
It must have like realistic drawing, like a realistic drawing.
So try your best to do a detailed drawing.
Dang it.
So you're not just drawing stick figures, you're trying the best of your abilities to draw a detailed drawing. And that's where the labels come in really handy, because if you're not a great artist and your drawings don't look that great, if you label them, then you'll still be able to tell what everything is. Okay, I'm going to tell you what the last 2 things are because they're very specific things. One of the things that a scientific drawing must have always is a date. You have to put the date in which you observed the subject. Because if you think about like my mealworm project, I did that over the course of 3 months. So if I didn't put the dates on those, I wouldn't know what day was what, and I wouldn't know how long it took the mealworm to go through each stage. And then finally, your drawing must have quantifiers.
What is that? I'm doing.
A quantifier is a number. So that means that I'm not just saying that my mealworm had legs, I'm saying it had 6 legs. I'm not just saying my beetle has antenna, I'm saying it has 2 antennas. A quantifier means that we're assigning a number. Haley?
Why would we need a number on a specific drawing?
Because, like we said, these drawings are made for somebody else to look at. So even though you might be able to tell that there's 6 legs on there, it's always good to put that quantifier on there. So if you handed your notebook to somebody else, they could say, oh look, this drawing is so specific. There are 6 legs, there's 2 antennas. Okay? All right, so look closely at this drawing below, this snail. Looking at the 5 things that a drawing must have, I'd like you to write all the things that are good about the drawing and all the things that need some improvement. Or what is it missing? Chris, put the highlighters away before I mark your planner. It's the second time I'm telling you. You don't even need a highlighter right now. Worry about your work. Really evaluate this drawing, Ben. Chris, do you know what we're doing right now? So your eyes should be on your paper. Ben, use the T-chart. What are some things that are good about the drawing and what are some things that need improvement? Okay, give me one thing that is positive about this drawing. Ashton.
That it does have detailed drawing.
Okay, it's a pretty detailed drawing, I think so. Okay, what else is good about this drawing? Jaden.
It also has labels.
Has labels, very good. Sienna?
It has a date at the top.
There is a date at the top, right here. Haley?
No,
Okay, anybody else have something positive? Quinn? I think that this person also put information about the subject because she didn't just label, she also put that this bottom row down here is a muscle that the snail uses for moving. So I think that they also added information. Okay, what's something that they need to improve on? Haley?
More info.
They probably need a little bit more info. And I think there's one more thing that we're missing here. Lindsay?
It doesn't have quantifiers.
There are no quantifiers. It tells me like it has 2 antennae, 2 eyes, 2 feelers.
Exactly.
Gavin, you have something else to add?
It's in cursive and some people don't know how to read cursive.
Okay, so maybe she could write a little bit more clearly. That could be as well.
What does that last thing says?
All right, now what we're gonna do is I have